What is up, YouTube? It's your boy B-Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch on, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the time of the thumbnail of the video itself, this is my AEW Grand Slam review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more rest of content I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 12K subscribers before April. And follow my social media down below in the description. And happy Valentine's Day towards everybody. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, AEW Grand Slam was a solid show for what it was, and I give that show a 5 out of 10. AEW Grand Slam was live from Australia, Cardos Bank Arena in Sydney, Australia. Saturday nights are right for colliding, and on this Valentine's night, we celebrate the trust, love of all professional wrestling. Welcome to the land under. Welcome to the Grand Slam, Australia. Commentary welcomes us to the show as we head to ringside for our first match. Jon Moxley makes his way through the crowd as we get ready for a big Continental Championship bout to kick off the show. We look at how we got to this match as Jon Moxley gets to the ring. Out next is Kanushka Takeshita headed into the ring to get this match on the way. So we get the first match, an AEW Continental Championship match. Jon Moxley defends against Kanushka Takeshita. The match was fantastic, but the time limit draw was terrible. Jon Moxley and Kanushka Takeshita this match should have went to sudden death, and that's all I gotta say. Dueling chants from both men as they stare each other down before locking up. Great slides by Jon Moxley, who transitions to a full Nelson before Takeshita counters with a takedown, only to get caught in a head scissors by the champ. He breaks free to the two men staring each other down before the break is made. Side headlock into a takeover by Takeshita, but Jon Moxley managed to counter into one of his own before the two get to their feet. Challenger rings the arm of the champ, who fires back with a strike. Kanushka enters in kind, leading to an exchange. Back body drop before the Alpha hits the ropes, but Jon Moxley sends him through the outside for a dive that sends both men down to the floor. Jon Moxley is first to his feet, taking the fight to the challenger as he sends Takeshita into the barricade to a pop from the Sydney crowd, but the Alpha responds by sending Jon Moxley into the guardrail for a big boot to the face. Takeshita breaks the ref's count before grabbing Jon Moxley for a forearm, forcing the champ to return to the ring. Champ catches Takeshita by surprise for a pile driver. Kanushka Takeshita is back on his feet as the two trade strikes again before things break down with Kanushka being sent to the floor as we go to commercial break. Back from the break, Jon Moxley is in control as he goes to work on the neck of the challenger. Jon Moxley hits the ropes but walks into a boot by Takeshita, who drops him to the mat again to a pop from the crowd. Jon Moxley gets back into it, catching Kanushka in the corner for some punches before Takeshita takes the champ down hard with a powerbomb for a near fall. Jon Moxley is back up, wearing down Takeshita for a near fall of his own before the challenger escapes to the apron, only for Jon Moxley to land a curb stomp, dropping his face into the hardest part of the ring. The referee begins to count, and Takeshita narrowly makes it to the ring. He gets caught with another stomp as Jon Moxley locks in a bulldog choke with 5 minutes remaining. Takeshita managed to fight free with both men back to their feet to exchange strikes. Kanushka wins the exchange with an exploder and a running knee, but it's only good for 2 as Jon Moxley kicks out. Jon Moxley is back up, taking the challenger down with a Paragon Ship DDT, but the Alpha narrowly kicks out at 2. We reach the final minute as the men regroup in a corner, and 30 seconds remaining as the two charge at each other. Strikes apparently with Takeshita landing a nasty knee shot for a 2 count as the bell rings. Time limit has been reached, and this match is a draw. Results time limit draw, and still your AEW Continental Champion Jon Moxley. The match itself was fantastic, but the ending was just terrible with the time limit draw. The Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita should have went to sudden death, and that's nothing but facts by itself. Give Konosuke and Jon Moxley 5 more minutes of sudden death, and that's all I gotta say. Some conversation start up about what happens next, but it looks like as though Jon Moxley simply celebrates retaining the title before Takeshita takes him out with a raging fire. He leaves the ring as commentary runs down the rest of the lineup for tonight. Video package: the rivalry between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe comes to a head, with match 7 being a ladder match for the TNT title later tonight. Up next, Base of Wrath defends the AEW World Tag Team Champions against Mega Bad. So we go to commercial break. We look back at the fallout from the AEW Women's World Champion match on Dynamite before heading back to ringside for our next match. The challengers make their way to the ring first before the champs arrive to get this match on the way. So we get the second match, AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions match. Base of Wrath, Harley Cameron, and Willow Nightingale defense against Megan Bane, and Penelope Ford. And this was a pretty good match in my opinion. Base of Wrath starts off strong, fighting off the challengers in opposite corners. Penelope blocks a double team before Megan Bane sends Harley Cameron to the corner. Conformably, these two start the match. Tag to Penelope Ford, who continues to wear the champ down for a tag back to Megan Bane, who lays some knee strikes into Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron finally breaks free to make the tag to Willow Nightingale, who fends off both challengers at once, leading to a near fall on Megan Bane as we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Penelope Ford is in control for just a moment before Harley Cameron takes her down. Megan Bane comes in but takes a DDT from Harley Cameron, who goes up top. This gets blocked as all 4 women get at it in the ring before Penelope Ford and Will Nightingale clear out. This leaves us with Megan Bane and Harley Cameron to the latter countering into a single leg crowd before Penelope Ford breaks it up. Will Nightingale rushes back into the ring to take her down, but gets taken down by Megan Bane before Harley Cameron lands a destroyer, sending the Mexis into the mat. Referee begins a count before all 4 women get back up. Things finally clear out, with Willow Nightingale being sent out of the ring as Penelope Ford gets the tag. Stunner on Harley Cameron, followed by a big lariat for Megan Bane, who dives out of the ring onto Willow Nightingale. Back in the ring, Harley Cameron dodges the attack of Penelope Ford, countering into a pinning combo for the win as the champ retains. The winner of the match by pinfall is still your AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the Base of Wrath. This was a pretty good tag team match. Champs doesn't get to celebrate as someone comes into the ring to attack them, quickly identified as Lena Cross. It doesn't take long to find out that she's aligned with Mega Bad as they stand over the fallen champs. Commercial break. Commentary hypes up ticket sales for AEW All In returning to London, and then we get a video package for the between Hangman Page and Andrade. So the winner gets an AEW World Championship match at Revolution. Hangman Adam Page versus Andrade. This match was fantastic for what it was. Trey Nose tries to start this match hot. Andrade counters a buckshot attempt, only for Hangman Page to fend him off from a DM. Andrade hangs out on the ropes, acting tranquilo, only to be sent to the floor by Hangman Adam Page. Fights back before being sent down by Hangman Page in the front row, but he talks about being a married man before turning his attention back to Andrade. The fight comes back into the ring, where Andrade fights back before Hangman Page catches him with a fall-away slam for 2. Andrade sends the Hangman into the corner for some punches before Page sends him back only to be caught with a Spanish fly off the ropes for a 2 count. As well as we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Andrade is still in control as we come back before Hangman fires back with a disgust lariat for 2. Andrade in the corner as Hangman lands another lariat for good measure. The fight makes its way to the apron with Page managed to take Andrade to the floor with one more lariat for the roll. He brings Andrade back in to the ring before going up top for a missile dropkick, but it's only good for 2. Andrade takes Hangman to the mat as he fights back, heading up top to keep Page down for a near fall of his own. They fight to the corner where Page lands a lariat, sending Andrade off the apron. He brings Andrade back to the ring, setting up for a buckshot lariat, only to take a hard back elbow for a 2 count by Andrade. Hangman Page in the corner as Andrade lands a running meteor DDT. Connect but only for 2. Page fights back, taking Andrade down hard as Don Callis jumps to the apron to argue with the referee. Buckshot is blocked, but Page lands a low blow to counter Andrade. Don Callis backs off as Hangman Page lands a buckshot lariat for the win. The winner by pinfall and advancing to Revolution, Hangman Adam Page. And this match right here, this match was fantastic for what it was, in my opinion. Page celebrates as we go to commercial break. The first test by Speed is our official theme for AEW Grand Slam Australia. Back at ringside, Orange Cassidy makes his entrance for our next match. Tony Storm comes to the ring to a nice pop for the crowd before the Death Riders head out to get this match on the way, because Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy go after them in the crowd. So we get the next match, Miss Tornado Tag Team match. Loser of the fall has their head shaved. Thomas, Tony Storm, and Orange Cassidy versus the Death Riders, Maria Shafir and Rilla Yuta. This was a fun tag team match. Orange Cassidy and Yuta go at it on the camera shot with Tony Storm and Maria Shafir on the other. Rilla Yuta takes control, knocking Orange Cassidy back before going after Tony Storm. He sets up for a power driver, dropping Tony Storm onto a roll cast to a big round of boos from the crowd. Orange Cassidy comes after Rilla Yuta now, only for Rilla Yuta to lay into him before choking him out with a cable as they return to ringside. Luther can be seen carrying Tony Storm away as the Death Riders gang up on Orange Cassidy. They maintain control as we head to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. As we come back from commercial break, Tony Storm makes a beeline for the ring as she lays out Willa Yuta, and they land a pair of German suplexes on Maria Shafir. Orange Cassidy faints into the arms of Tony Storm, and the two dance into a double team on Maria Shafir. Manage to fight back long enough for Willa Yuta to get it, but he takes a DDT from Orange Cassidy, sending him to the mat. Maria Shafir goes for a sharpshooter as Tony Storm locks a TCM chicken wing on Willa Yuta, and the two submissions are broken so they can't go after each other. Instead, Willa Yuta gets back up, but Orange Cassidy fights him off. Maria Shafir sneaks up on Orange Cassidy, but takes a bazooka knee from Willa Yuta, sending her out of the ring. Orange Cassidy with a dive on Maria Shafir as Tony Storm hits a hip attack on Willa Yuta. Alright. Orange Punch and Storm Zero finish the job as Tony Storm gets the pin on Willa Yuta. The winner by pinfall, Wheeler Yuta. So Wheeler Yuta had to get his head shaved bald. It should be Maria Shafir have her head shaved bald, but they chose Wheeler Yuta. Bald is beautiful, and Wheeler is about to learn the hard way. Luther and Mina get out the barber kit to the ring, but Wheeler Yuta escapes into the crowd to invade. To invade. It says to invade. Where was I? It says to invade his punishment before John Moxley comes in through the crowd to confront him, telling him to take his powerball licks. Wheeler Yuta reluctantly agrees as his heads back into the ring. Mina is the first to take some snips with scissors, followed by Tony Storm. This ends with Orange Cassidy and the Clippers as he begins actually shaving Wheeler's hair off. They continue taking turns until Orange Cassidy music hits, indicating the broadcast portion of the segment is over as we go to commercial break. But did you see the look on John Moxley's face while Wheeler shaved his hair? I know John Moxley was mad, and that's all I gotta say. So we go to commercial break. We head back to ringside for our next match as Mark Briscoe heads down to the ring for his shot at the TNT Championship. As the champion heads out, we see him talking to Okada back on Dynamite, asking him to stay away from ringside for this match. Title is up high for this ladder match as we get underway. So we get the next match, TNT Championship match, ladder match. Kyle Fletcher defends against Mark Briscoe. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie to you. This match right here, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good for what it was. They go at it quickly with Mark Briscoe sending the champ to the outside for a dive through the ropes. He lands a chomp before Kyle Fletcher finally counters back half and half suplex, sending Mark Briscoe to the floor. Mark Briscoe fights back to his feet, setting a ladder up before taking the champ to the floor with a suplex. He climbed the ladder he set up, but it's met by Kyle Fletcher on the apron, and Kyle Fletcher launches him from the ladder to the floor with the challenger leg catching the top rope on the way down. This opens Kyle Fletcher up for a big moonsault to the floor before he sends Mark Briscoe back into the ring. He also grabs the ladder on his way back and props it up on the turnbuckle before sending Mark Briscoe into the ladder like a lawn dart. Mark Briscoe is busted open and laying on the canvas as Kyle Fletcher set the ladder up for the climb. Mark Briscoe intercepts him, leg sweep sending the champ to the mat hard as we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, back from the break, the two men fight it out on the apron. Kyle Fletcher is teetering on the apron before falling onto the ladder as Mark Briscoe goes up top and lands a froggy bowl, sending the champ through the ladder and to the floor. Mark Briscoe slowly makes his way back into the ring, looking to climb up for the belt before Kyle Fletcher slides back into the ring, pulling Mark Briscoe away to send him into a ladder prop on the ropes. Despite the damage done, Kyle Fletcher is intercepted by the challenger on the ascent. Kyle Fletcher sends him down before leaving the ring for another ladder, propping it between the turnbuckle and the other ladder as he shouts at Mark Briscoe about wanting to play. Mark Briscoe of the brainbuster, taking a bite out of the champ as he jokes about it, testing like shrimp on the Barbie. Now it's Mark Briscoe in control, and he dumps Kyle Fletcher threw the ladder on a J driller. He continues to keep Kyle Fletcher down before climbing the ladder, but Kyle Fletcher intercepts him, taking him to the mat with the brainbuster. Alright, it says right here. It says the champ starts to make his way back up as Mark Briscoe sets up another ladder, and the two slug it out until Mark Briscoe gets sent flying to the corner below. Kyle Fletcher climbs up and grabs the ladder to retain. The winner by pinfall is still your TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher. And this match was not bad. This was a pretty good match right here. We get a VO package for our main event before heading to ringside as Brody King makes his way out first. Next out is the champion as we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break to get ring introductions from the challenger and the champion before this main event gets underway. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get the AEW World Championship match. MJF defends against Brody King. This match was good. This match was whack. You know what I'm saying? This was a whack match. Those chant from Wednesday are back here in Sydney. I'll leave it at that as the bell sounds off. Brody King goes on the attack, but MJF escapes the ring for a breather. Only once he finally gets back in, Brody King sends him to the corner for some hard chops, followed by a gorilla press. Body slam. MJF managed to corner, nearly dodges a cannonball as he rolls out of the ring. He goes after the leg of the challenger now, slamming it against the ring post after Brody King indicated he may have hurt it on impact. The champ continues the attack before coming back into the ring, keeping Brody King down before mocking the crowd as he goes for a kangaroo kick on the challenger. He follows it up with a toe hold and a grapevine, and King struggles as he crawls to the ropes for a break before we go to commercial break. Back from break, Brody King sends the champ to the outside for a dive through the ropes. Both men are on the floor as the referee begins to count. MJF makes it back to the ring at 5, and Brody King falls close behind. Brody King catches the champ with some hard shots before sending him to the corner. MJF goes after him, but takes a back body drop instead. MJF heads to the corner for a breather, dropping another cannonball, but Brody King stops himself this time. He goes to choke out MJF, who bites his hand to break free. MJF, who breaks free. Yeah, it says right here. It says right here who breaks free. It says right here. I know what I'm talking about. It says right here. It says it breaks free. Where was I? It says MJF heads to the corner for a breather, dodging another cannonball, but Brody King stops himself this time. He goes to choke out MJF, who bites his hand to break free. MJF heads to ringside to escape an angry King, but Brody King lays him out before bringing him back in the ring to stop the ref's count. Cannonball finally connects, and Brody King brings him to center for the cover at 2. MJF managed to catch Brody King by surprise with a weird naked choke, and Brody King is fading, and Bandito comes running down to use his partner to keep in the match. Brody King finally managed to fight to his feet, sending the champ down hard. MJF rolls out of the ring as Brody King hits the ropes into a reverse heat seeker of shorts as he gets hung up on the middle rope. MJF gets back in the ring as Bandito tries to will Brody King on amidst the referee's count. This gets broken as MJF gets back after the challenger who sends him into the guardrail, but the impact forces both of them to the floor. The referee begins a new count, and Bandito points out that Brody King needs to get the champ back in the ring. Brody King does so and nearly gets back in time to beat the count. MJF sneaks off to the corner, pulling his dynamite ring out of his trunks, but the referee catches him. This allows Brody King to land a hard forearm shot, sending him to the ropes to choke him out before dropping him to the floor. He brings the champ back into the ring before getting so bomb, but MJF nearly kicks out at 2 to save his title. The fight makes its way to the apron as MJF starts biting Brody King until the referee intervenes, as this gives Brody King an opening as he goes for a Ganso bomb. Nothing doing as MJF breaks free and Brody King goes for a choke on the ring post before the champ attacks his knee. This gives the champ an opening to drop kick back first into the hard part of the ring. MJF brings the challenger back into the ring, propping him on the ropes for he's eager to take the win to retain the title. The winner by pinfall and still your AEW World Championship, MJF. This match was whack, and that's all I gotta say. This was a whack main event match right here. Hangman Page rushes to the ring, holding his hand the contract to the world title match. At AEW Revolution, he also got pinned, signing the contract before threatening the champ with something mightier than the word before leaving the ring. This leaves us with the champ in the ring holding his title as commentary hypes up Dynamite for Wednesday, and with that, Grand Slam Australia comes to a close. But let me read you guys the quick results. AEW Continental Championship match ends with a time limit draw. Jon Moxley retained the Continental title championship. The match itself between Jon Moxley and Kanusuke Takeshita was a good match, but the ending had a time limit draw, and it came out terrible, and that's all I gotta say. AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match, Baszler, Ralph Harley Cameron, and Willow Nightingale defeated Megan Bay and Penelope Ford. Winner gets an AEW World Championship match at Revolution. Hangman Page defeated Andrade. That match was fantastic. Mixed Tornado Tag Team match. Loser of the fall has their head shaved. This was a fun tag team match between Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus Maria Shafir and Rilla Yuta. And the TNT Championship ladder match. Kyle Fletcher defeat Mark Briscoe. That was a good match in my opinion. AEW World Championship match. MJF defeated Brody King. That main event match was whack, and that's all I gotta say from here. And AEW Grand Slam review. AEW Grand Slam goes off the air. Alright, let me give my opinion what I think about AEW Grand Slam. Now, AEW Grand Slam was a solid show, and I give that show a 5 out of 10. Now, if you guys enjoy my AEW Grand Slam review on highs, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling review content I do on the channel. Subscribe to my channel because I'm on the road to 12K before April. So help me get to 12K subscribers before April. And that's all I gotta say from here. Follow my social media down below in the description. And thank you guys so much for coming out to my 2-hour live stream on Twitch for some retro gaming. And that's all I got to say from here. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And that's all I got to say. And I'm going to have an upcoming world premiere for my AEW Grand Slam review on highlights at around 5 o'clock a.m. right here on YouTube. So have a great night. Stay safe and stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.